Hey, what is up, YouTube? What is up, Christianology family? So on the P.S. Morgan show, right? So they about to talk about how Trump hate is coming back. Getting closer to the election is slowly seeping back, and I mean, it's always been Trump hate, but now is like the media, the left media, CNN, all those type of people, MSNBN, MSNBC, or whatever it is. They now trying to push that, oh, I hate Trump, or if you support Trump, oh, you're a Trump apologist. I'm not a Trump apologist. I'm just trying to pick up the right side. That's all it is. Let's get straight to it, yeah.
Biden on Howard Stern, Kamala Harris on Drew Barrymore, which is one of the most revolting things I think I've ever watched on global television in the history of television. Let's take a look at Kamala Harris, Vice President of the United States, on Drew Barrymore's show.
That says a lot.
I've been thinking that we really all need a tremendous hug in the world right now.
Yeah.
But in our country, we need you to be Mamala of the country.
Let me bring it over to Tatum. Have you ever felt more nauseous watching television than in the Mamala moment?
No, I mean, these people are absolutely ridiculous. I want to say another word, but I'm trying to be a good Christian. But, this woman, they're all fake. They're all fake. Kamala Harris is now the first black vice president. When she was, elected into the Senate, she was the first Indian senator. I mean, these people are absolutely ridiculous. What does Mamala mean? Is that going to help with inflation? Is that going to help bring down prices of groceries? None of that matters. Are they going to secure the border? None of what she's doing on the couch with this other lady, Barrymore. I mean, they got a big old couch. Why are they sitting right in front of each other? These people are absolutely ridiculous and virtue signaling.
Well, it's not Mamala's fault. She didn't ask to be called that, right? She just said that her stepchildren call her that. And then Drew was
well,
like...
it's two ignorant folks just saying rubbish. None of that really matters to the American people. I don't know why they're even having a conversation about it.
What I found fascinating, though, is you only see on American...
Honestly,
hang on, Blair, I'm going to come to you. In American television, it's very, as you get into election year, actually any year with Trump, you would never see this in reference to Trump or Melania or his vice president or his vice president's wife or any of that.
We don't see
they are all the devils, right? The only people that you can talk this way about. And it was interesting to me because Howard Stern is one of the people I most admire in world media. And he's one of the greatest interviewers in history, and I love the guy. But I was actually quite surprised about just how softball he was with Joe Biden last week. Let's take a look.
You know, the reason I'm so excited to talk to you was because I wanted to understand the tragedy in your life and how you dealt with it. And you're the kind of leader I love because we're lucky to have you in the Oval Office and serving as the father of the country. Because if you're a good father to your family, which you are, I know you'd be a good father to the country. And I want to thank you.
Bro, what in the virtual signaling is this nonsense, bro? First of all, if your kid is smoking crack and having sex with prostitutes, you failed as a father. So stop all this virtue signaling nonsense. Your child should not be smoking freaking crack. If they did drugs, get the pure version, not freaking crack cocaine, you bum. How you die rich smoking crack cocaine? Man.
For providing a calming influence, an organized administration post-COVID, getting that vaccine out. I remember what the world was like at that point, getting NATO, getting us to feel comfortable, standing up to Putin, the incredible large growth in the jobs, unemployment rate down. I'll give you your greatest hit.
He looks confused.
The lowest uninsured rate in history. 4 out of 5 Americans are covered for less than $10 a month.
He's about to
knocking off
sleep.
a few ISIS leaders, cutting the emissions in half. I mean, you've always been an environmentalist.
I mean, it went on and on. Blair,
nonsense,
I mean, I was
bro.
surprised that Howard went quite so far in the sycophancy route with Biden. Were you?
it's not surprising at all. There's this really sick thing that happens in American media where if you are a celebrity or a host or an interview, you have to absolutely worship to the point of insanity any Democrat politician on the show. And every Republican politician, we're talking from, Congress to president to anyone, is literally Hitler. And this is something I've observed my whole life. George Bush was literally Hitler. John McCain was literally Hitler. Mitt Romney, and now Trump. And now they want you to believe that actually, no, this is really literally Hitler this time with Trump. But it's the same thing with the Kamala thing. And Kamala's legacy is particularly sad to me. I mean, it was spoken very plainly by the Biden administration that she was literally picked because she was a black woman.
That's it.
And I think that that's just actually really embarrassing and hurtful towards black women and minorities in this country who want to believe that they can prosper on their own merit rather than be handpicked out of something. So I've never understood the love for Miss Kamala.
Well, it just looks so partisan. And I spoke to Charlemagne the God in
Yeah.
New York recently, and he's gone completely off the Biden administration because he thinks Kamala's been so useless for African Americans and done absolutely nothing to improve their
Useless.
lives.
All
better.
useless.
Yeah, I
Right.
think that's why he's getting a lot more vote now in polls from African Americans. Esther, let me ask you, there's also a Time interview with Trump. They had 2 long interviews with him, done a big cover story in which he lays out what he may do if he comes back to the Oval Office. And it's gone down with the Democrats like a lead balloon, obviously. Amongst many things, he said he used the military to sort out the southern border, National Guard, if necessary, migrant detention camps possible, suggests a 60% plus tariff on Chinese imports, says that Israel, they should be...
I gotta say something. That's the thing. Rich people always have to always have to help people at the bottom, because when rich people go around flexing on people in the middle class, lower class, that they have more money than them, they could travel first class, go on vacations, they could work only 2 days out the week, and they don't even make a further ground for people below them in the class below them. Those people are gonna uprise and take your head off, because they're gonna be like, why is this person making billions of dollars and I'm wasting my life away 10 hours a day to just make $120 a day? And these people make thousands of dollars a freaking week, thousands of dollars a week, and they're not even helping me to be even close to making at least a few thousand so I could take care of my family. They're not. They're just dumping down on me. Hey, I'm richer than you, I'm richer than you, I'm richer than you. I'm not going to help you. I'm not going to help the economy flourish, that y'all could also have a chance to make a better living for y'all. Even though y'all might never be millionaires, but y'all could be thousandaires and not be in debt, not struggle, not be complaining about these bills, light bills, AC bill, whatever it is. Y'all could also live as comfortable as possible. Y'all might not have the luxury, but comfortable is better than not having nothing at all, than being poor, in my opinion. Luxury and comfort are neck and neck, in my opinion. Yes, you have luxury, you're probably a little bit more comfortable. But if you're comfortable, you're driving a Toyota RAV4 and someone's driving a Range Rover, it don't matter. You still have a car. You probably get better gas mileage than the Range Rover, and that Range Rover is gonna break down in a year. You get me? So it's my little 2 cents.
Changing their public relations is fared very badly. Says abortion is a states' rights issue. Talking about access to abortion pills, we'll have an opinion on that. I'm not going to explain, I'm not going to say it. I have pretty strong views, but he won't say them. He would absolutely consider pardoning January 6th defendants, even those who've obviously been sent to prison. NATO Europeans need to pay their share, and so on. So a lot there of very Trumpian stuff. What's your take on this Time interview?
I think he said a lot of things that would resonate with people that have basically been left with no other option than to vote for Trump. I think the Democrats' reaction to Trump baffles me, because he is their fault. Everything that he is their fault. Because if you offered people an alternative, Trump wouldn't even be someone who is taken seriously. He's not, clothed in glory. But one thing that does concern me about Trump that I think we need to look under the hood a little bit is who's going to be in his administration. Because being a politician isn't just about convincing people to vote for you. It's also about being a leader and being able to bring people under your roof and actually get them to work together to have a coherent administration. He's alienated a lot of people that have been consistently by his side for years. And that's the thing that concerns me. I think a lot of the things that he says is quite common sense, leaving abortion to the states, securing the southern border, all of these things that the Biden administration could just say they want to do, but will not do it because they've been effectively hijacked by lunatics that I genuinely believe hate America.
Okay, well, James, you are our resident political expert in America after last week. So your take on Trump derangement syndrome, we're probably about to hear an example of it, but your view of his manifesto if he gets re-elected.
Honestly, I think it's terrifying. That interview is scary in many ways. I think the thing that stood out for me the most was the stuff about tracking pregnant women and allowing states with anti-abortion bans to track women's pregnancies. And it's not surprising from someone that said you can grab women by the pussy to now want to track women's literal pussies. But I do think that's a bit of a problem, and I think it's very scary. And I agree with Esther. It's surprising that he wants to just rule the world and doesn't care about what other people think.
Do you know what's interesting about the whole abortion thing? Because Trump has briefed that his personal view is that he thinks the 15-week term limit would be about where most Americans would sit in terms of abortion
Which is where most
law.
Europeans sit as well.
Well, it's fascinating. Actually, there are quite a few European countries with much more strict abortion laws than that. There are places in Europe like Poland and Malta and others where it is illegal completely to have an abortion. And so this idea that the United States is a complete outlier, actually by throwing it back to the States, it starts to resemble much more what Europe is like. You know, where you have the UK, which is a real outlier in terms of lax law, many would argue, 24-week term limit. You have countries like Germany and France, which are around the kind of 10, 12-week thing. So it's always strikes me when I go to America, and it becomes such a heated debate, the abortion debate. I do wonder whether most Americans understand that Europe is not dissimilar. It's not. Anyway, let's move on to, well, I'll tell you one thing I do want to mention, if I could, with Officer Tatum. This South Dakota Republican, Governor Kristi Noem, who is tipped to be Donald Trump's running mate, but has boasted in a book that she's just brought out that she shot and killed a puppy called Cricket, a 14-month-old wire-haired pointer, because she said that Pooch's aggressive personality made her untrainable as a hunting dog. Now, I know a lot of Americans, you love your pets, you particularly love your dogs. I don't think anyone could possibly run for high office having brazenly boasted of murdering a little dog called Cricket. Do you?
Well, let me say this. I think that that's definitely a black eye for her because America do love the dogs. I mean, I remember back when Michael Vick was in a dog killing ring and he went to prison for it. And they hated him more than people that kill other people. So America don't accept it. You know, I don't know if in that culture of hunting and ranching and stuff that killing a dog is normalized. I don't think she would brag about it if it wasn't culturally normal. But I do think it gives her a black eye. You know, I don't know the details enough to care. But I do think that she's not going to be a valuable candidate if you have killed a dog in the United States of America. I want to go back to the point, Pierce, just 1 second, about the Democrats. You know, Howard Stern completely lied about Joe Biden. Joe Biden doesn't have the numbers that he had claimed that he has. Our economy is going downhill. We're in all kind of wars. We've given hundreds of billions of dollars to Ukraine with no receipts. We don't know how they're spending the money. I mean, all of these things. And Donald Trump has been the president before. So if they think he's going to be the dictator in chief, he's going to be Hitler all over again. He's had an opportunity to do that, and he never did that. He boasted one of the best economies in United States history. He did so much for black people, gave more money to HBCUs. I mean, you go down a list. That's why he's polling better than Joe Biden. Joe Biden has got the face of the country. He can use as much money as he can to put his name out there. Kamala Harris is the black woman. Ketanji Brown, all these woke things that he's done. Why do you think his ratings are so low? Why do you think Kamala Harris is the worst vice president?
It is amazing that despite all that, his support is cratering with African Americans, and African Americans are gravitating to Trump. But that's because actually African Americans may not want to be patronized and actually do want to be judged on their merit and do want presidents to be judged on their merit, and they feel like the Biden-Harris administration has not improved their lives. In fact, the opposite. I mean, Blair, final point on Trump.
If I could just add, since we're giving Trump his flowers, he also made animal cruelty a federal felony, which I was shocked it wasn't before he did that. So you're absolutely correct. The idea that Kristi Noem has any chance of, working with Trump, I don't see that happening.
I don't think it's
okay, but he also did a lot of bad things as well, guys. You're forgetting the Muslim ban. You're forgetting the. I just named one.
Wait, hold on, no. Muslim ban.
COVID-19
No, Muslim ban. Let's talk about the Muslim ban.
What did he do to ban Muslims? Whatever.
What did he do to ban Muslims?
You can't sit here and say.
What did he do?
Because you're giving flowers, which is fine, but there needs to be someone else saying, well, hold on a second, he also did this.
Explain the Muslim ban.
Explain the Muslim ban.
Well, he banned people from certain countries, just did a blanket ban. Yes, he did.
He did not. Under Barack Obama's administration, they had certain countries that were a threat, which Barack Obama put into place.
Okay,
Donald Trump only enacted what Barack Obama did.
What about,
you're making it up. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Fact check, entirely correct. Barack Obama identifies 7 Muslim countries that he thought were a threat to America. It was those 7 that Trump, after a massive terror attack, decided there should be a temporary hold on people coming in from the 7 countries that Obama, his predecessor, had identified as a threat to America.
And they don't see this.
Things in the right context.
Wikipedia.
This is the Trump dipping your pen into the right context.
I can read more out if you'd like me to.
Go on,
man. No, read more out. Come on, give me another one. You don't know what you're talking about.
It's like wrestling.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you there, Blair. Men were talking over you.
January 6th?
I said that it's also, in my opinion, up to the left to explain why these countries that just so happens to be, a political threat, a terrorist threat, bipartisanly decided that happen to be Muslim. I mean, I would like to hear an explanation.
88 felony charges right now.
Just because you charge them mean you're guilty.
Impeached twice. climate
You're
change
innocent until
reversal,
proven guilty.
making Europe less safe. I mean, there was a lot of things that weren't
Making
great.
Europe
He brought
less
There was
peace
some
to the
things
Middle
that
East.
were
listen,
What are
hold
you
on, hold on.
talking about?
You're innocent-
The entire
you're
world is
innocent-
in flames right now, and he was the only one to bring peace to the Middle East. That decision alone should
Okay.
seal anyone, any Americans, let me say, vote.
I just want to say,
for
I want to
Trump.
because
That's
James
alone.
did mention there were some things he would give credit to Trump for. Can you name one?
Some of the things you said were,
Can you name
were
one?
okay.
Name one that's
If he
okay.
brought peace to the Middle East, that's wonderful.
Thank you very much for your contribution to our political
It's
debate.
more
in
than
America so
wonderful.
far.
It's more than wonderful, bro. People are not dying no more because if it's peaceful, no more war. Goofy. Man, this boy crazy. They're delusional, insane, all that. All the above. All the above. Yeah, if y'all enjoyed the video, kindly hit the subscribe for me. See you guys on the next one. This boy crazy, y'all.